Good afternoon, guys. I'd like to welcome you to my carpet cleaning, upholstery cleaning, and rug cleaning channel, as well as hardwood floors. My name is Rod, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about myself. We're going to look at some videos, some still pics, and I hope to have many of you subscribe to my channel. Like what you're seeing. Hopefully it can be a little interactive. Sometimes we'll do maybe some questions and answers. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I've been in the industry for 33 years. I started my days in New York. I've traveled all around in the industry. So I think it's about time I probably have a channel, and I'd like to share with you some of my experiences, as well as my experience in different methods of cleaning, attacking different types of soiling, stains, problems that we encounter in our industry. See what your thoughts are. Perhaps I can learn from you guys, and maybe you guys will also be able to learn a little bit after looking and following my channel. I'm on the second floor of a residential property here. You're able to see some of the staining here up against this door. So to get this job set up, initially I did a dry vacuuming. Obviously we're going to remove all the loose particulate. Then we pre-treated it. I used an orbiter to scrub it. Afterwards, I did a low moisture process using a bonnet, and it came out absolutely fantastic. So here we're running a machine called a thermodry. It's a VLM process, very low moisture. And like always, you have to pre-vacuum the carpet. It's critical to remove the dry particulate soiling. Some of the experts say anywhere from 75 to 80% of your soil is loose particulate soiling. Afterwards, we put down the pre-treatment, which is a neutral product, so no residue will be left behind. Too many times, technicians will apply a heavy-duty pH product, not properly rinsing it, leaving behind a residue. In this case, we used an encapsulant, a neutral pH of about 6.5. That will bind to the soil. We gave it a dwell time, after which I came back with a pad, a bonnet, and we were able to extract the soil out of the carpet. This does an absolutely fantastic job. This was an empty property. I think the owner might have been renting it. Some tenants had left, so it was quite soiled. But using this low moisture process, we were able to get everything out. There were some coffee stains in this particular property. I used a 6% peroxide mix, and I was able to remove the coffee stains. Synthetic carpet here, so no worries, and the job came out absolutely fantastic. This job here was an interesting one. We're in a bedroom in a really nice property. The carpet happens to be 100% wool. It's not even a blend. A very high-end carpet, so you need to be cautious as far as the pH that you're using on a lot of your products. The carpet was in excellent shape. It's only about 3 years old, and the homeowner doesn't get a lot of use in the upstairs portion of the house, but nonetheless she wanted to have it clean, so I gave it a good vacuuming. We got all the loose particulates out. I applied again an encapsulant, allowed that to dwell for a few minutes, and as you can see in the illustration, or I should say in the video here, you see the thermodry machine running with a bonnet underneath. That bonnet is extracting all the soil out of the carpet. What we'll then do is turn that bonnet over, and when both sides are saturated, we'll remove that pad and we'll look to bring in a new clean pad. So you need to make sure you have enough bonnets. But this is a fantastic method of cleaning. It has its time and its place, I think. Perhaps a lot of guys will underestimate this particular process, but it does work well if you follow all the steps. So we're able to go back in. We're able to replace the furniture in just about 30 or 40 minutes. No need for tabs underneath the legs. No need for wet drapery at the window, or even dust ruffles that are coming off the bed. No issues there. This carpet is wool. So we got it dry in about an hour. The customer is ecstatic. She has company coming over that evening. So all is well. And she was really happy with the job. So besides carpet, upholstery, and rugs, we clean all kinds of soft furnishings, various textiles, from mattresses to tapestries on walls, all kinds of different fabrics will clean, soft furnishings. And in this case, we have some hard surface flooring that we work on as well. This happens to be a marble floor, and the customer has kept the marble in really, really good shape. So it wasn't too bad as far as the job is concerned. But our first step, obviously, we wanted to get all the loose particulate off, or up, I should say. We gave it a good vacuuming. And then after that, we washed the floor with just a mild neutral cleaner. Afterwards, we put a floor machine on this with a red pad, just to kind of agitate the product that we had put down. We extracted that product up. We got the floor nice and dry, and we used a couple of different grits, a couple of different diamond pads to bring up the luster on this particular floor. And again, it wasn't a restoration cleaning, so we didn't go hardcore on it, but just gave it a light scrub. We were able to get the surface soiling and dirt off, and then we put a nice shine on it when we were done by just using a couple of different diamond pads. Came out great. Took us about 4 or 5 hours to do this area. Not a huge area, it's only about 500 square feet, but we took our time because we wanted it to come out nicely. We wanted the customer to be happy with the job, so it did. It came out really nice. So just another thing that we do besides the soft furnishings, we also do hard flooring as well. From time to time, we have to use our portable extraction equipment. And in this case, we'll come in, we'll do some hot water extracting. Depending on the environment, depending on the level of soiling, and exactly what the particular situation might kind of reveal to us as we survey the carpet or survey the upholstery or the flooring or whatever it might be. I don't think there's one fit for everything. I think it's important to kind of look at each job and determine exactly how you're going to attack it. So in this case, we were doing a commercial job. It was inside of a restaurant. Before we got there, all the chairs had been moved off. You might see in the background there a scrubber that has it's a 175 scrubber. It's got a red pad on it. So in some of the really bad high traffic areas, we scrub the carpet. It's kind of a commercial grade, so it's a really short pile. It's a cut loop pile, but it's really low to the ground. Typical in hotels, but we were able to loosen some of the soil with that. And then we came back and did a hot water extraction process. So a number of different cleaning agents you can see there on the floor. We have our buckets, and that particular portable extraction machine can run about 125 to 150 feet of hose. So we were in good shape there as far as the cleaning went. So in this case, we got called out to clean some pads that are on some conference chairs. All the pads are loose. So we took each individual pad, we laid it down in their restaurant area. We also cleaned their rugs for them. And we just cleaned each pad, one at a time. General dirt and soiling on these pads. Synthetic material, nothing really fancy. Just did a really quick dry vac on each of the chairs. And then we treated them with an upholstery cleaner. Nothing too high. I thought maybe an 8.5 or 9 pH or something like that. We allowed that to dwell a little bit. And then what we did was we took a hand brush and just kind of agitated the pre-spray into each chair pad, and then we extracted them out. And these also came out pretty good. There were a few that were in really bad condition. You might see those here in the image, but overall this came out really nice. This job was quite successful here. And who doesn't like befores and afters? So we take a look at these stairs. They were quite heavily soiled, kind of an off-white beige kind of carpet, 100% synthetic, but really soiled. We vacuumed them well. Again, we put down a pre-treatment, and then using the orbiter machine, we were able to put a green brush on the orbiter machine and gave these stairs a really, really good scrub prior to extracting them out. And then we extracted them out, and we'll take a look here at the finished product. These came out really, really nice. So here we have a different angle, but you can see how heavily soiled these carpets are. They were just about 20 feet off the front door. But in this case, in the customer's home, I don't think anyone ever took their shoes off. So the kids just ran up and down, spilling drinks, bringing in outside soil. Just as you know, cleaning steps can sometimes be a challenge. And these were absolutely a challenge, but let's take a look at how they all came out. So here's the end result. This really impressed me, I have to be honest with you. When I first arrived at the client's home, I thought to myself, this is really going to be a challenge. But I went for it, and this was the end result. So sometimes it's about taking your time. We all know that time is money, and oftentimes we have that second or third job to go to. We find ourselves rushing. But really, we need to give our clients and our customers exactly what they pay for. So if it takes you a little bit of extra time, in the end, it will be worth it, because that client's going to remember that you took the extra time, you worked hard, and if the job comes out well, they're more likely to call you back. Now, this job was not perfect by any means. I couldn't get every single stain or spot out of her stairs, but the difference was drastic, and she recognized that, and she was really happy. And at the end of the day, it's about making our clients happy, really, when you think about it. Here we go, another angle. This is a landing. You come down 3 or 4 steps, and then you have a landing, and that connects to another flight of stairs. So just from a different angle, you can see the difference. This came out really, really nice. I was happy with this job. On this job, I got called out to a hotel. Now this is interesting. This was a vomit stain in one hotel room. So it looks like the cleaning company, I guess I should say the staff that cleaned the rooms, they took something from behind a counter. They attempted to clean this. If you look closely in the video, you'll see some red in it. Might have been some wine someone might have been drinking. So I knew I was in for a challenge on this one. So I vacuumed it well. There was still some particulate there. We got some of that up. And I treated this. To myself, I said, how am I going to treat this? There may be some color in it, some wine. But I knew I was probably dealing with an organic stain. So even with regard to the wine, the stain itself was vomit. So it was organic. I carry a 6% peroxide with me, and I applied that onto the stain, gave it a little bit of dwell time. I put the orbiter on it, started to scrub it, and this stain just absolutely disappeared, even before extracting it. Then we extracted it out, and we got 100% result. So that was really nice, and the hotel staff was impressed, because they weren't sure we were going to be able to get that out. Unfortunately, there was some drapery that was hanging down here, and that got covered. There were silk panels. And those silk panels got absolutely covered in wine and vomit. And so I told them that it might be best to take those out. Personally, I think that they might be trashed. I don't think they're going to be able to get those cleaned properly, but maybe they can locally. They can try to send them out somewhere. But I just worked on the carpet in this case with a 6% mix of peroxide, and we got a perfect result in the end. Absolutely fantastic job.